Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Oh, yeah, motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, I'm back. This is your main man, Mr. K. You Dig It, Backroads Mayor, and I'm back with a couple hot ticks of these motherfucking politics. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Oh, look, America. Donald Trump is a war criminal, a sexual assault predator. He's lying to the American people saying Iran love when we bomb their country. Donald Trump then lost his fucking mind.
He says it again. The time the Iranian people are the most unhappy in their life is when the bombs stop. They love when we bomb their elementary schools, their universities, their bridges. They love it. They love it. That's what they want, Donald Trump basically says here. Play this clip.
It was given to me loud and clear. The time the Iranian people are the most unhappy when you hear bombs all over is when those bombs stop. That's the problem. When they stop, because that means that are they coming back? We want to have them back. And, you know, everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. So,
and again, it's so demented. You have like the Easter music in the background for the festivities, and this is what he's talking about. Then he's asked, so if Iran does not meet your demands, are you going to continue the war? And Trump's like, you'll have to watch. It's an easy question. The answer is yes, but you'll have to watch. Like this is some horrific Hollywood movie. You're just going to stay tuned for the next season of what war crimes will Donald Trump commit tomorrow? Here, play this clip.
Is Tuesday your final deadline? Is Tuesday at 8 p.m. your final deadline?
Yeah. If Iran does not meet your demands, Mr. President, are you willing to continue the war?
you'll have to watch. It's an easy question. The answer is yes, but you'll have to watch.
Oh, look, America. We are watching Donald Trump collapse in real time. Donald Trump made a speech the other day at his so-called fake-ass Easter ball where he asked where Melania Trump was at, and she's sitting right on side. He don't know. Lock it.
Then Donald Trump, as part of this Easter egg hunt, finally realizes that Melania is next to him, and he's like, "Where's the first lady? Ha ha ha! She's a movie star, everybody." I mean, this guy is so addled. He's so physically and mentally rotted. That's why I did the video on the 25th Amendment this morning. Here, play this clip.
Big thing, and it was a big thing to our great First Lady, who's here someplace. Let's see. I think this is our First Lady. What do you think of our First Lady? She's a movie star. I don't know. Do we call her First Lady or a movie star? She has the biggest movie. Can you believe this? And she deserves it. Would you like to say a couple of words to your friends?
Donald Trump's like, if it were up to me, I would keep the oil. I want to keep all of Iran's oil. Play this clip.
And we've obliterated a very powerful country in 34 days. If it were up to me, I'd like to keep the oil. I just don't think the people of the United States would really understand.
Then going back as he has like the Easter bunny next to him while he's talking about the military. I mean, I just wonder like who's in this Easter bunny costume, like as Donald Trump is spewing this. You think he makes Marco Rubio go in the Easter bunny? I mean, I think that there is a high, I'm being sarcastic, just so you know, I'm not going to lose but there's a high probability under my sarcastic scenario that Marco Rubio is there wearing those size 15 clown shoes that Donald Trump makes him wear. But anyway, Donald Trump's like, I just want to say that we have the greatest military. Look what we did in Venezuela, and look how much I'm using it in my second term, while Marco Rubio's there, hypothetically, in the bunny suit. Here, play this clip.
We look forward to it, but I just want to say we have a great military. We have the greatest military, the most powerful military any place in the world. You saw what happened with Venezuela. And it's an honor. I built it in my first term, and I didn't know I was going to be using it this much in my second term, but it's my honor, and they're the greatest people on earth. Our warriors are the greatest fighters on earth, and they very much appreciate you and love you, and that's why they do it.
Now, one of the things we're also learning about is while this was taking place, Massive escalation taking place in the war in Iran right now. Iran's South Pars petrochemical facility was attacked once again with multiple explosions being reported. The Israeli and U.S. Air Force attacking Iran's largest petrochemical facility, which accounts for about 85% of Iran's petrochemical exports. Remember, the last time the South Pars facility was attacked, Iran then immediately hit the Qatari facility in the northern oil fields, because the South Pars and Qatar, they share that same South Pars northern facility right there. So we're going to be focused on if there's going to be retaliation there. I think there will be, and there will be retaliation, I think, in the other petrochemical facilities that are in the region. In addition, Sharif University of Technology, Iran's top engineering university, was hit by a U.S.-Israeli strike today. Labs, buildings, mosques, a data center, nearby gas facilities seem to be destroyed. Sharif is often called Iran's MIT, a core hub for science, engineering, and elite talent. It trains many of Iran's top engineers, tech entrepreneurs, scientists, including in the fields of aerospace, nuclear, and advanced research. Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi responding, Israeli U.S. aggressors have bombed the MIT of Iran. This follows attacks on other universities. 1400 years ago, Prophet Muhammad said that even if knowledge was situated in the distant Pleiades, Iranians would be capable of attaining it. Aggressors will see our might. Also, Israel killed Iran's head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps intelligence, Brigadier General Majid Kademi, in an overnight targeting strike. Israel also says it is awaiting authorization from the U.S. to begin striking all of Iran's energy facilities. So we'll be focused on that as well. And apparently the United States and Israel have set all their targets to cripple all of this civilian infrastructure in Iran, to make it long and painful for Iran, even more so if Iran does not agree to negotiate with Donald Trump or make a deal. And as you can see, Iran does not want to make any deal or even have a negotiation with Donald Trump.
Oh, look, America. Donald Trump and Cocaine Pete Hegseth is giving a speech about the war in Iran. While Pete Hegseth, Cocaine keep Pete Hegseth, giving a speech, Donald Trump standing up, sleep, lock his motherfucker.
From me, one of hundreds of thousands who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, who watched previous foolish politicians like Bush, Obama, and Biden squander American credibility. This is not those wars. President Trump knows better. Epic Fury is different. It's laser focused. It's decisive. Our objectives, given directly from our America First president, remain exactly what they were on day one. These are not the media's objectives, not Iran's objectives, not new objectives, our objectives. Unchanged, on target, and on plan. Destroy missiles, launchers, and Iran's defense industrial base so they cannot rebuild. Destroy their navy, and Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Our objectives from day one.
Oh, look, America. Now, the two war criminals, Cocaine Pete Hegseth and Donald motherfucker Trump, while they giving a speech, check this shit out, America. Donald Trump is standing up, sleep. I mean fucking sleep. Lock his...
Here's the thing about the media, though. If President Trump had not acted, you'd be screaming, why not? And now that he has taken decisive action, you're asking, well, why did you? It's the same old tired playbook, TDS in your DNA. But the hardworking, God-fearing, patriotic Americans out there know better. Here's a fact that you don't hear on your networks, but we know. Many of the Iranian military factories and bases that we're systematically destroying were paid for by the pallets of American cash that Barack Obama flew into Tehran under the Iran deal. You might call it an inconvenient truth. Iran took our money and turned it into weapons and bunkers and ammo. And now we're destroying those weapons.
Oh, look, America. Cocaine Pete Hegseth just said Iran is humiliated and embarrassed. Now, you told a motherfucker just got on TV and said they slanging ass and we better not come our ass down the straight of her muse. Lock his line in.
A message to the President of the United States. The outcome of war cannot be determined by tweets. The result of a war is determined in the field, the very place where you and your forces do not dare to approach, and you can only talk about it in your tweets. It's better to name this war as Epic Fear instead of Epic Fury.
Oh, look, America, them fake-ass Christian nationalists and the Republican Party that said Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus, all that shit was a disaster. It was blasphemous. Fire their ass. Lock all they motherfuckers.
Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to.
Oh, look, America, Donald Trump, from the top to the bottom, is a fraud, a grifter, a fanatic, and an extremist. Need to put the handcuffs on him. Lock all they motherfucking ass up, him and his whole motherfucking administration.
President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to review a New York civil jury's finding that he was liable for sexually assaulting and defaming writer E. Jean Carroll. In 2024, a federal appeals court upheld the jury's verdict against Trump, ruling the judge did not make mistakes that would require a new trial. Carroll sued Trump, claiming he sexually assaulted her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in 1996 and later made defamatory remarks against her when he denied the assault. We reached out to Carroll's legal team. They declined comment. Trump's legal team called Carroll's claims implausible.
Oh, look, America, Donald Trump has been adjudicated for rape. He's a cruel man filled with malice. He's sick. He's a war criminal. Lock his motherfucking ass.
I have been personally covering General Randy George's career for about 15 years. I wrote a book in 2012 about the ill-fated combat outpost Keating, which had been in 2006 placed in a dangerous position in Afghanistan. Then Colonel Randy George and his Lieutenant Colonel Brad Brown tried to shut down that outpost in 2008 because of the precarious position it was in, although their warnings were not heeded with any urgency. And then Cop Keating was devastatingly attacked in 2009. Those who know General Randy George consider him to be well-respected, smart, strategic, someone who acts with the best interests of his service members and the United States at the top of his mind. His dismissal, along with that of Chief of Chaplains Major General William Green Jr. and Commander of Army Transformation and Training Command General David Hodney, are just the latest in a string of abrupt firings that Hegseth has carried out inside the Pentagon since he took office. Hegseth has fired more than a dozen senior military officers over the last year. In fact, he's almost completely remade the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Just two officials remain from before President Trump took office. Marine Corps Commandant General Eric Smith and Chief of Space Operations General B. Chan Saltzman. Now, you might have noticed if you look at that photo, Hegseth's version of the Joint Chiefs, those are entirely white men, despite the fact that as of 2024, nearly 33% of active duty service members are of color, and nearly 18% are women. Hegseth made it quite clear that that type of representation in the top ranks does not matter to him.
The era of DEI is gone at the Defense Department, and we need the best and brightest. Physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. We're reviving the warrior ethos. We're eliminating the distractions and the debris. No more DEI.
Two of the first leaders Hegseth let go were former Joint Chiefs Chair General C.Q. Brown, the second black officer to hold that post, and Chief of Naval Operations Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to lead the U.S. Navy. Just last week, the New York Times reported that in an extraordinarily rare move, Hegseth was actively blocking the promotions of 4 Army officers. Officials saying 2 of the officers are black, 2 of them are women. Parnell defended the promotion process to the New York Times as apolitical and unbiased, unquote. The New York Times reports that Army Secretary Dan Driscoll repeatedly refused to let Hegseth strike those officers' names from the promotion list. Officials told the Times that Driscoll took heat from Hegseth's chief of staff, the controversial Ricky Berea, for promoting Major General Antoinette Gant to command the military district of Washington. The Times reporting, quote, Mr. Berea told Mr. Driscoll that President Trump would not want to stand next to a black female officer at military events, the official said, unquote. Berea denies that story. Driscoll is someone Hegseth perceives as a threat, sources tell CNN. Unsurprisingly, he has worked closely with the now retired General Randy George. Hegseth's firing sprees targeting women, targeting people of color, or even just those he feels personally threatened by. This all comes as the U.S. is weighing a further escalation in the already unpopular war in Iran, a ground invasion that could potentially risk the lives of thousands of troops, which only 11% of U.S. adults polled by CNN support. In that same poll, incidentally, Secretary Hegseth himself is registering at a 35% approval rating, with 65% of the American people disapproving. And now, without the guidance of tenured military officials who have served for decades honorably, that guidance, because Secretary Hegseth is either dismissed or hamstrung for reasons that remain unclear to even top military officers, now the Trump administration is scrambling to prove to the American people that there is a clear plan for the war in Iran and that it's worth the costs of thousands of U.S. troops that they're putting in harm's way.
Oh, look, America. Donald Trump must have hit that dope, smoked the rock, or just drunk some motherfucking bleach or something. This son of a bitch said Iran people say, please keep bombing them. Who the fuck he think we are? Lock his motherfucking ass up. You know them people ain't saying.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've said Iranians would be mad if you stopped these attacks, but why would they want you to blow up their infrastructure, to cut off their power? Wouldn't that be punishing Iranians for the actions of the regime?
They would be willing to, and it's suffering. They would be willing to suffer that in order to have freedom. The Iranians have, and we've had numerous intercepts. Please keep bombing. Bombs that are dropping near their homes. Please keep bombing. Do it. And these are people that are living where the bombs are exploding. And when we leave and we're not hitting those areas, they're saying, please come back, come back, come back. These are the people. I don't know what they do. All I can tell you is they want freedom. They have lived in a world that you know nothing about. It's a violent, horrible world where if you protest, you are shot. I can only say this. They want us to keep bombing, even if it jeopardizes, because their life is in much greater danger. They want freedom for Iran.
Oh, look, America. It's a reason we have the Geneva Convention International Law, because of shit like this. Donald Trump and Cocaine Pete Hegseth committing war crimes. These are war crimes. Lock his motherfucking ass.
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to.
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to war crimes?
No, not at all. No, I'm not. I hope I don't have to do it.
The president refused to say whether any civilian targets would be off limits.
Oh, look, America. Our president and his motherfucking administration is committing war crimes in Iran. He said it in plain view of the American people today. Put the handcuffs on him. Lock.